Hello, my scattered children. Same bookcase as you can see, same dressing gown, same early morning. Well, not quite, it's a different early morning, but it is early morning. Richard, I'd like to continue my little stories about the Royal Air Force, my Royal Air Force time, and I'm going back to my early training days on Avro Anson's Mark 1, which had a retractable undercarriage, but unfortunately it had to be manually wound up and took a lot of winding up. I know, I've done it. And it had a Bristol gun turret with one clapped out gun in it, and the Bristol gun turret was hydraulic, and it operated with a gun that went up and down, and it had a seat which was like a bicycle saddle seat, which also went up and down with the gun. So you had to be careful when you were climbing into it, because if it was going up at the time, or if you caught the mechanism to operate it, and it was going up, your head was in the way, well, it could give you a headache. Anyway, the aircraft were based in Dalcross, which was in Inverness. It is now Inverness Airport. And that's where I did my first training. And we had Martinet aircraft chasing after us, trying to shoot us down with we were trying to shoot them down, with camera guns. And we also did drogue practice with real live ammunition, clapped out machine guns that kept on breaking down. And there were 3 of us in each aircraft, 3 trainees, and we each fired at a drogue, and when the drogue was deposited on the ground, the ground crew counted the number of bullet holes each person had made. Now the question comes in, how do we know which gunner shot which? Well, what happened was we were each given a belt of 300 ammunition, 300 rounds, and these rounds had been dipped in soft coloured paint, which as it went through the drogue left its distinctive colour on. So you had red, green and yellow, if I remember correctly. Anyway, that's how we did it. And the target aircraft, of course, they used to attack us. The Martinets used to attack us, the same as the Spitfires earlier on. And this time we used camera guns, trying to shoot them down. And that was my early training from Dalcross. But I want to tell you a couple of instances. One of them was that while we were there, one Anson spun in and killed all its crew except one. Yes, that's right. All his crew except one trainee, who I believe came back later on after he'd been badly burned. He came back later on and did pass his course much later. And the Martinets which attacked us were flown by ex-Spitfire pilots who were on rest from operations. What they did, they sent them to train rookies like us to shoot them down, which couldn't do anyway. Right, now, I want to tell you about a wonderful trip I took, because I went to the crew room, the Martinet pilot's crew room, the day after one Martinet had spun into the earth in a high-speed stall, killing its pilot. And I asked if I could go for a trip in a Martinet. And of course one of the Spitfire pilots turned around and says, "You know what happened yesterday?" And I very timidly said yes, I still wanted to fly. I was told to report back. And I did, and I climbed into this Martinet and had the most magnificent 45 minutes in the air that I've ever experienced. The G-forces were pushing me down into the seat or swelling me out, or doing all sorts of funny things to me. I didn't know whether I was on my head or my heels, quite frankly. And one minute I could see 3 Avro Ansons way down below. Those were the ones with the pupils in, like myself, and they were way down below. And then the next minute, my Martinet, tilted over, like the Spitfires mentioned, and dived down to the attack. And that's when I didn't know where I was going. I mean, they were, talk about high-speed stalls, they were high speed, all right, not to me. And it was a wonderful 45 minutes in the air, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I think that's basically the story I was going to tell you about a little trip I took in a Martinet aircraft. But did I mention I was in Dalcross Airport, which is now Inverness Airport? That's where I did my training, flying over the Moray first. One of the exercises we had was firing at low level into the sea at coloured markers, which was, I think, a fat lot of use when we were being trained to fly at 20,000 feet in pitch darkness in Lancaster bombers. However, that's as it may be. Just little anecdotes that come to light, Richard. So I'll say an early morning cheerio to you again, and not forgetting Susan and Edward, but mainly spaced at you, Richard, very shortly going into battle yourself in Afghanistan. And I wish you all the luck, my son, and I know you'll put up with it. I know you will. And you'll come back a man. That's all for now. Bye-bye. I'll see you tomorrow, probably. Cheerio.